Hey y'all, it's Day. So, very much looking forward to this reading. Today I am using the Astro Soul Oracle deck. Love this very much. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this reading and I'm going to go ahead and get started. I do want to let you guys know that if you'd like to learn more about my readings, you can visit my website, which will be in the comment section below. If you'd like to contribute to my readings, you can do so by visiting my Amazon wishlist store, or you can Venmo me, PayPal, Cash App, and you can book a private reading with me through the website as well. So check it out, and I look forward to connecting with you guys. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. And I want to thank my angels, guides, ancestors, God source, and my benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, 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 thank you. So what do we need to know? What do we need to be aware of? What are some things that we need to keep in mind regarding this journey, this path? So the first card that we have here is the full moon. It's coming out in the choice point position, and it says energy peak, harvest, blessings, achievement. And with this full moon card, I do feel like someone is in full bloom, someone is fully matured, someone is very robust, whether it's energetically or physically, like someone is ready. This can be in reference to like their skills or their persona, their ego, their physique, how they move, how they go about things. Like you're ready to take the next move, spiritual team is feeling. And it is coming out in the choice point position. So someone, whoever this reading is for, may be kind of like contemplating taking the next step or making the move or moving forward. Towards the middle of the spread, we have sextile, and it's coming out in reverse. And it says integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, and empathy. Um, so with it coming out in reverse, there's part of whoever this reading is for, an aspect of them that wants to move forward, and then there's another aspect of them that is keeping them stagnant from taking that move. So it may be in reference to self-doubt. I'm hearing intimidation. It may be due to, I'm hearing self-neglect. Some of these aspects are keeping them from moving forward. And with empathy coming out as well, it's like something about you being who you are, doing what you want to do or doing what you need to do for yourself, for your own personal fulfillment. There's an aspect of you that needs empathy, and you have an aspect of yourself that's unwilling to give or to provide or to be that for yourself. So I'm seeing someone trying to move forward. I'm hearing animosity also. So it's like someone getting upset with themselves for being scared or being fearful, or it's like someone needs to jump off of the diving board and they want to, but they feel frozen. Like they're on the platform, but they just can't seem to make themselves make the jump. But then aside from that already being a thing, like a task within itself, then they're also angry with themselves and within themselves that they are having this problem. So they're not having empathy for themselves. They're not being understanding of themselves as to why would they be afraid. Of course you would be afraid. Of course you would be fearful. Of course you are, a living being that is has an interest in living. You're interested in your well-being. So anything, whether it's a challenge or a new environment or an opportunity to explore, it is a new environment, and that causes your senses to be more stimulated. So your spiritual team wants you to work on having empathy for yourself and for who you are and why you feel the way that you feel. It's going back to emotions again. So someone's upset with themselves for being sad. Someone's upset with themselves for being afraid. Someone's upset with themselves for having second thoughts or not doing something. You know how, like, for the longest time, there's this energy of like everybody is just like, just do it, like just be consistent, like just push through. And you know how, like, when we have certain goals, like the most mundane, going to the gym, it's like how it's important to push yourself to go even when you don't feel like it. I feel like there's definitely a place for that. But there is also this energy of like it's gonna be harder for everyone to operate in that, with that mindset anymore, where you're just gonna like, you're going to override all your feelings and emotions. You're going to override all of your energy level for that day, and you're just going to, it's kind of like tearing yourself up, just trying to push over. And I'm hearing projection. So this type of mindset may have been projected to you by culture, society, how people say things should be done. But there's this energy of balance, like it's okay to acknowledge your energy levels. As someone who was in sports in high school, I realize that it's very important to understand the difference between when you're needing to push yourself, like finish it, and when you're hurting yourself. And it feels like something about someone, whoever this reading is for, um, identifying what that looks like, that concept for them. Like, how do you know when I'm challenging myself, I'm pushing myself, versus I'm harming myself. I'm going against my own energy levels. I'm not honoring my feelings, or I'm neglecting my feelings, because there is an energy of like some feelings that whoever this reading is for are unprocessed, and that's what's really contributing to why this person is having a hard time moving forward with whatever it is that they're being called to do or they want to do. And like I said, with the full moon coming out, someone's in full bloom, they're fully matured, their physique is right, they are strong, they're robust, but yet and still they're experiencing a drawback or a mental challenge regarding taking next steps for whatever this person is meant to do, wants to do, called to do. So on the right of the spread, we have the seventh house. I relate. This is the house of partnerships. Here is where we can see the personal relationships that involve commitment or cooperation of some sort. Marriage, spiritual union, agreements, societies, and business partners. It's interesting because the seventh house is the other, but it also feels like the other you, or like there's two aspects of whoever this person is. There's the mechanism, the machine, the body that is animated, and then there's the soul type of energy. If you've had a dream where in your dream you see yourself, but you're also observing yourself within your dream, you might notice that. Or if you are someone that meditates, you know, like you're not your thoughts. There's something about a reference to a separation between one person, that is them, and then the person. So it could also be a concept of, you versus your thoughts. Sometimes our mind can start to think up old limiting habits and how that can come up first as a default, but we're needing to program that in the various ways, affirmations or whatever, so that that is no longer the default. But the fact that we have to kind of like not fight against, but like, yeah, you gotta kind of like push back on some of those default negative thoughts or limited expectations that come up. So in that, recognizing like there is to something to like the, even if it's just like the mind is mechanical or something, or it's the conscious versus the unconscious, there's this division between two people, and spiritual team is saying that like y'all need to work together or y'all need to like collaborate. You need to collaborate with your mind, you need to re-engineer your mind, you need to address, you know, any traumas that you have, things like that. So in the far left of the spread, directly underneath the full moon, where we were talking about you're fully matured, you're in full bloom, and your spiritual team is encouraging you to move forward, we have Capricorn in reverse. So you really the GOAT. So you really the GOAT. So that's the energy. Like you're meant to lead, I'm hearing. You're meant to do so much. You're meant to conquer so much. You're meant to upheaval. You have the ability. I forgot the name of the trucks. I'm not really good with cars and stuff, but like you know, I think it's like, is it a Rubicon or something like one of those Hummer type cars where like they're able to go over terrain. Like they're built like that. Spiritual team wants you to know like you're built like that, and that is in regards to this mental situation that you have going on that needs to be addressed. Like spiritual team wants you to know very clearly like you are the GOAT, you are meant to do it, you have the capabilities. Perhaps, you know, when you get a new car or a new instrument or new device, like there's a learning curve for sure. But like you got it. Like all the buttons are there, but now you need to learn, you know, how to use, how to maneuver within the system, within the machine that is you and your mind comprised. So your body and your mind, yourself and your higher self, you and your soul, your ability to do and your perception, your limited beliefs and your capabilities, like some of those are like out of harmony. And it's kind of like, you know how when like with cars, what do they say, like when the transmission keeps slipping, or on a bike when the chain is like not aligned properly and it's slipping also. It's that type of energy in reference to whoever this reading is for, is mind and their body, their abilities and their self-concept. Those two things need to partner up and collaborate according to this seventh house. Love that for you. So directly underneath this sextile that is represented as integration, cooperation, tools, skills, ingenuity, harmony, empathy. It's saying like there is this integration that needs to happen between those two things so that like everything is going more smoothly for you, and then you will find your ability to move, because whoever this reading's for may be feeling a little bit stuck. It's just like they're standing there, they've got, you know, their parachute, but they can't jump off the plane. They're on the diving board, but they can't seem to make the jump. They're at the door, but they can't seem to open it. I'm getting like a reference to it, like an interview or something where someone would need to kind of market themselves or talk about themselves. It's like something about it feels very debilitating. Excuse me. So underneath this sextile in reverse, we have vertex also in reverse, and it says karmic point, synastry, faded connections, turning point. So there's opportunities available in taking these steps. There may be some worry or concern about like being embarrassed or falling flat on your face as well. That is also contributing to the stagnancy or the being frozen and not being able to take a step forward. For some reason, someone is worried about their karma as well. Like, I don't know if they maybe did something to someone else in the past. Maybe they were not as supportive of someone else who was trying to do something similar years ago, and they still think about that holds on to them. So it may be beneficial to, if you're not in connection with that person anymore, or not able to communicate with that person anymore, or just don't feel comfortable connecting with that person anymore, you can pray about it, and you can like ask your spiritual team, ask God to like release you from the burden of the impact or the influence that you had on that person while you were being unsupportive or being negative towards them in their dreams, regarding their dreams or their ambitions and endeavors, and are now facing the same, type of challenge. Or, if you do have a connection with them, just letting them know that that is something that you think about, of course, in your own words, and maybe apologizing to them would be very beneficial. That way, if there is any intention or any tension, even if it's just on your side, because sometimes I found that when I apologize to people, like, oh, like, they're like, I forgot about that, or I wasn't thinking about that. Sometimes I think that may be true, and sometimes I think that it's not true, but they're still glad that, it was said, and it, like, disperses, like, any, like, karmic ties, any, um, you know, strings like that. On the right of that, we have the ninth house. This is the house of higher and elevated thoughts as well as expansion. It covers long distance travels, foreign languages, inspiration, optimism, publications, higher education, spirituality, philosophy, religion, ideals, morals, and ethics. And the phrase that goes with the ninth house is I know. So there is this release energy, and there's this like taking off energy, and it feels like something about things that are still on your mind, and I'm hearing the word stressors, is still weighing you down just because you're thinking of them. But it feels like the only way for you to kind of release them is for you to kind of like apologize or have a conversation or talk to someone like that, and or pray about it, like I said, and ask for forgiveness, that type of energy to like release you so you can have a fresh start. And it's kind of this energy of like moving forward. It's like all the people that you've had a relationship with in the past, you don't want them to have any bad blood towards you. This is for whoever this reading is for. And it's not necessarily like that we can control that, or that it has to be a thing, because some people don't care about that. But for this person, whoever the reading is for specifically, it's kind of like, I know more now that I didn't realize then, and I wasn't as empathetic towards that person at the time. And now that I'm realizing that and facing the same challenges, I kind of want to, make things right or release my conscience of this. So love that for you. And something about doing that is going to make you feel lighter, and it's going to allow you to move forward more confidently. And you may also, get some valuable insights, if you do decide to talk to this person or these people from your past as well. So directly underneath the seventh house, where your spiritual team was bringing up the relationship that you have with yourself, your mind, body, abilities, and capabilities, directly underneath that, we have Leo in reverse. Period. So something about your relationship with yourself is supposed to be something that you kind of wear on your sleeve. It's like not that you're going up to everybody and talking about it, but it's supposed to be seen, recognized, and acknowledged by other people outside of you. Like it's giving me that energy of people seeing someone at the gym, like, yeah, this person loves themselves. Like, yeah, this person like talks positively to themselves. And it's very interesting because sometimes you could have like readings where like sometimes people see your light or they see your vibrancy and they automatically go into this darker energy or low vibration energy. But something about you and the way that you carry your authenticity and your confidence and your positive self-concept that you're meant to cultivate and actually carry with you on your sleeve, like people are inspired by it. They like feel like, what? Like, really? You feel like that about yourself? Like I see someone being like, "Yeah, man, I'm doing this competition and I'm gonna do this and this is what I'm doing." Like, period. And someone's like, "Wow, really? So you just gonna say that?" Like, how many people are competing? Okay, and again, I'm getting like people are not like, why you think that you'll be the top 10 of all the 50 contestants. I see other people being like more inspired. So I keep getting this imagery of someone being in the gym. So maybe the people that you are surrounding yourself with or have surrounded yourself with or go to work out with, whatever the environment is for you, like they're on the same frequency, like they respect worth ethic, they respect your vibrancy, they know who you are, they know how you come in, they have that same grit too, like they want it just like you, they're able to take feedback from each other, like there's a supportive type of energy, so there's not hate, there's like tips and taking notes, and that's how it should be. But yeah. On the far left of the spread, we have the eighth house. This is the house of life's enigmas, transformation, the hidden, sexuality, and death. Here is where we can see someone else's property and money, real estate, inheritance, and investments. We can also see our deepest unrevealed wishes as well as fears, occultism, and esotericism. And the phrase that goes with the eighth house is I transform. And this is coming out underneath the full moon and the choice point and the Capricorn in reverse, where spiritual teams say you're the goat, you're in full bloom. All you have to do is believe in yourself and move forward. You're supported. And something about that is transformational. It's kind of like it's the self overcoming type of energy. You have to overcome yourself. And earlier I did hear commercial vehicle as well. For me as a reader, that means someone having the ability and being presented the opportunity to move from one stage of their life to the next. Love that for you, but it's going to require like overcoming yourself. It's like that energy of um, jumping off the diving board. And for myself, I learned something because I have been stuck in that space before, lots of times. But more specifically, a couple of months ago, I decided that I was going to take cold showers every day. And I was supposed to do it for like a month. I only ended up doing it for 2 weeks, but I did do it every day. And what happened was, like, people have different methods. There's no right or wrong way. You definitely have to just honor how you feel. But I would turn it on so it'll already be on cold. So I'm like literally jumping in the shower while it's cold. I know some people like start the shower off warm and then towards the end of the shower, someone recommended to turn it on cold after that. That's cool too. But I was jumping in like freely, like. So yeah, that energy when you're jumping in the pool or anything cold, it's just like, okay, I know what I gotta do. I know what I'm gonna do, but like, I can't move because I know it's gonna hurt. It doesn't hurt, but it hurts. So that was the energy. So in regards to like getting past that stage where you're just kind of like, I realized for me, it's like, okay, so there's like silence, and then it's like anticipation, and then you control your breathing, and then I don't know, it's like, okay, it's like silence, 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 silence for me. And then there's this section like it's a void, like it's like a tunnel where you almost feel detached from your body. You almost feel like, I don't know, it's just like you just gotta feel it. It feels like an opening, but it doesn't take away the fear, but it just feels like a void itself. So yeah, it's like, and then it's like jump in that space, and I'm hearing luminal, and I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it's like luminal space with like there's a void. Love that. That's something that I figured out for myself. So like now it makes it easier because instead of me thinking like, what do I do? When do I jump? Like now I know. It's when you feel like really out of your body, basically. it's like a twofold. Like you could psych yourself out and think like, I'm out of my body. Oh hell no, I'm out of my mind. Or you could be like, okay, I'm a little bit desensitized right now, so like I can use this opportunity to jump. So on the right of the eighth house, we have the moon, and it represents emotions, instincts, receptivity, and safety. So with that, whoever this reading is for, is like it's either you have like a few very significant traumas, deep emotions, or unresolved like emotions or traumas. You may have a few significant ones, or you may just like have a lot of little ones. So that might be two different groups. Um, the one that has a lot of them is like they're not as deep, but they still need to be addressed because all of them combined are really like they're all like holding on to you with a rope. So definitely get into your emotions. I know for me, like if there is a certain emotion that I know that I'm struggling with, I will meditate and I will bring up that emotion, which means like I basically relive it. I don't know anybody else, but for me, that's what I've learned is that I have to relive some of my traumas that are like stuck in my emotional body, and it will eventually come to a head. But the thing is, like sometimes it's very drawn out. Like I've had to meditate for like an hour, over an hour sometimes, to like fully process that emotion and feel it out. And sometimes it does feel like very thick, like a forest. Like, when is it gonna end? So you really have to have time to set aside and really like get through that. But the idea is the reason why you're able to do it now is because you may have grown, you're in a different space, you're in a bit different time, you know more, but perhaps you have the vocabulary to articulate yourself more or better regarding what you experienced. And it's okay to use phrases, affirmations, or words to trigger it or to bring it up. I notice for me sometimes it could be very remedial, like it is literally my inner child. So I might say things that don't really necessarily make sense, or it's not something like how I would speak to another adult, but it'll be like, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt, I hurt. And in kind of like bringing up that emotion for that specific time that you're trying to heal, you'll, like I said, eventually come to a head and you'll get a big inhale and exhale and you'll feel so much better. And that's how you know it'll be truly released. But yeah, whoever this reading is for, you have deep emotions that need to be addressed. This may be contributing to their anger issues as well, or their short temper, or their low tolerance for others. Going back to this empathy, the same empathy that you lack for others, it's like someone like gets pissed when they hear someone complain, or someone maybe they're not necessarily complaining, but to you it feels like they're complaining and they're just like talking about their day. Someone gets like really annoyed about it. Like someone's like, don't stay stuck in your feelings. And that may have worked for you. And I feel like there's still a place for that. But spiritual team is saying like there's a need for a balance. Like there are times where you need to push through, and you will be presented with those. We will be presented with those times, those challenges. Like spiritual teams like trust, but like also don't make it harder on yourself. Like don't be like that all the time. Like there are times where you need to like sit in your feelings a little bit. So again, going back to this energy of like don't run yourself ragged. Like I said, I want to do cold showers for a month, and this was my first time doing it. That was my goal, but after like 2 weeks, I got to the point where it's just like you already know the difference between like even though you did it and you feel good, you feel so invigorated, even though you know the benefits, you know how you're gonna feel after the cold shower. It's just like there's still this part of you that's kind of like the anxiety even the next morning. Um, and that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, know the difference between you needing to challenge yourself and when you're hurting yourself or you're overextending yourself. Because when I got to the end of my 2 week challenge, the 2 weeks, I was just kind of like, I was just like really, really, really not feeling it. Like my body, my energy levels was just like, no, like this is feeling harmful at this point. So I gave myself grace, I gave myself empathy. I was proud of myself for the 2 weeks that I did it. Like I called it. And sometimes like people just need to call it. Like imagine ripping a muscle because you didn't call it. Like that's just unnecessary. And then you're setting yourself back even more because you ran yourself ragged. That's like getting into borderline abusing yourself. So like be mindful if that type of energy is coming up. Mm, 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 mm. So towards back to the middle of the spread or the bottom. Earlier we had vertex, karmic point, symmetry, fated connections, turning point. It's kind of like someone wants to embark on this new journey, but they kind of have to like backlog, like, oh, I forgot something. Like someone had their own goals in mind and they're about to, go to the track meet or the basketball or this, whatever this cross country event or cross something. Um, but they're like, oh, like I need to go back and I need to let this person know how I feel about them and that I respect them. And I apologize that I wasn't as supportive of them while they were most inspired or when they were striving for something at the time. And now I understand like exactly what they were talking about, but I just was like underdeveloped at that time. I didn't really know. I just didn't understand like what they like why what the hype was about or something like that. And maybe I don't necessarily know that it affected them, but like I know that I would be affected if that was me now with the knowledge and experience that I have now. So knowing better, doing better, I want to backtrack and so that I can run this race or participate in this competition with a peace of mind. I can aim for my dreams knowing that I'm not perfect and I did do something that I'm disappointed in now, but I don't have to hold on to it. I don't have to harbor it. I can also offer it as a gift to someone else, and it's going to release strings of karmic attachment, of resentment that this person may or may not have. Sometimes people really don't have like resentment towards you, but like just you coming back and acknowledging it, it'll make them think about. Because sometimes you may know this as well or experience this. Like when we're kids, something didn't feel right, but you didn't really know what it was. You didn't have a vocabulary for it. You know that you didn't always feel accepted, or something was wrong, or something didn't feel right. But now as an adult, maybe if you wanted to think about it or dwell on it, like you could feel some type of way, but just the gift of someone coming back to acknowledge that, like, hey, if I did, that wasn't my intentions, I apologize, could go a really long way. And I'm just getting this very, like, golden spiritual energy that feels like very special and a lot can come from it. So with that said, the sun, it's like you're by giving to someone else, you're giving to yourself more vitality. It's like whatever energy that was already yours that's locked up, whether it's mentally or energetically because of someone else's ill feelings towards how you treated them or resentment, like it's dispersed. It's like it's wiped clean, it's released, and that adds to your invigoration, your inspiration, your ability to be the sun that you are, to be that inspiration that we talked about others perceive you as you confidently talk about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and your confidence about that. So it's like something about that task is going to make you shine brighter. Love that for you. Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this message? Is there anything else that we need to know regarding this message? Angels, guides, ancestors, God, bless, understand, what the fuck is this? Stand in truth, love. Thank you for love. Thank you for guidance. Thank you for protection. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel like I'm gonna get a call or interruption soon. Say, So we have Lilith came out on top of the eighth house, where we were talking about something, this self overcoming, and like, getting past that, being stuck on the diving board or making the jump, making the dive. And your spiritual team is saying like overcoming yourself, getting over yourself, and and doing it, allowing yourself to um, be courageous, or finding a healthy way to get out of this stuck energy. We have the Lilith coming out in reverse, and it says repressed desires. So, something about your ability to transform is connected to your repressed desires. It's giving this energy of like when you're scared to do something, or you have anxiety about, learning a new system at work or something. And it's just like you done hyped yourself up to have all this anxiety, but it's just like after that week of training, it's like things start to look more and more familiar to you. When you're looking at a system for the first time, it's just like a whole new language, and you have to really grasp everything, and then you forget where was that button again. But like repetition with repetition, um, things will start to look more and more familiar. So take it in bite-sized pieces. Like, don't try to do too much at one time. There is also this energy of someone like having a mouthful. For whoever this reading is for, that has that mindset of like just push through everything, like just do it type of energy. There's this energy of like not eating so much, or not eating um like stuffing your mouth all at once. Your spiritual team wants you to practice eating more slowly and eating a little bit. Like, I'm talking about like as far as how much you are putting in your mouth at one time. Like, don't do too much. Like, you don't have to take mouse bites, but like take average bites, or just make it smaller than what you're doing. Because I'm seeing like somebody eating like it's esque-ish, like sloppy Joe, just like taking a big ass bite, and it's just like you have all this food on the side of your mouth like a hamster. Like, sir, get it together. Like, it's really not. You don't have to store like you don't have to store it. Like the food is on the plate. It's not going anywhere. But something about that exercise of eating more slowly, like taking your time, taking smaller bites, spiritual team is like that's gonna train you to be more in your body. It's gonna help that tolerance muscle also, because we talked about earlier how someone has very low tolerance for people that are complaining or expressing. They have a lack of empathy, and something about that, it feels like it's equivalent to meditating, like as far as the mental strain, the mental um strength that it takes, like to slow down a little bit. So on top of the moon, where spiritual teams say like you have a lot of deeper emotions that need to be addressed, and they're affecting how you move through life, and to be aware of that, to know that. We have the first house coming out on top of the moon card in reverse. So something about these, I'm hearing deep regret, something about these deeper emotions that you kind of been pushing to the side, or smothering, or suppressing, is healing those, addressing those is going to unlock, release, help you experience or to realize different aspects of yourself that you didn't even know existed. So it's kind of like it feels like getting a new phone, or getting a new phone case. It's just like you have new buttons and new qualities and new ways to work. We talked about the car, like how it's able to go over the terrain. It's just like awesome. Your spiritual team is like you, your body, your ability, your capabilities is this car that is meant to go over terrain. You're meant to go over terrain. Yes. Yes, you are. And even with that, you don't have to abuse yourself in order to achieve. There is this necessary need to be connected to your root chakra, to be aware of your root chakra, which is that you are safe, you are in your body, you're not neglecting your body, you're not over extending your body, you're respecting your body, and you're aligning that with your values in regards to your goals, whatever you're trying to achieve. Love that. So we have the first house in reverse on top of the moon card. which is I am. This is the house of the self and identity. Here is where we can see one's personality, behavior, character, physical appearance, as well as their attitude towards life. It starts with the sign known as the ascendant. And on top of that, we have, not on top of that, both of these cards, the first house and this retrograde, came out on top of the moon card, and the retrograde is in reverse. So that is speaking to that energy or example practice that your spiritual team wants you to move more slowly. If you're someone that walks fast, don't walk so fast. If you're someone that stuffs your mouth, like take smaller bites, chew more slowly, like take your time, breathe life. Okay, so under the ninth house, I know we had also Mars in reverse. Willpower, desire, fortitude, rage. Your spiritual team is saying, like, you don't have to overexert the fact that you have endurance, that you have grit. It's just like, I don't feel like whoever this reading is for feels externally that they have to prove it to anyone, but maybe they feel like they have to prove it to themselves, or maybe this is an identity that they have had and they're trying to hold on to it. So, for example, if someone was like really known for being very athletic in high school, now they're like a full adult, they're 38 or they're 34, whatever the age, it doesn't matter really. It's just about the comparison of like an era versus this era, and this era can be just as great, just as monumental as the past era, but there is this need for acknowledgement, for knowing, for understanding that it has to look different because you are different. You're in a different space and time. You are a different person. You have a different perspective. Your body is different. But it doesn't take away from who you are, but be cautious of what you think is your identity, because if you're going to the gym or this contest or this workout with the mindset that you're going to be the person that you were in high school or the person that you were at any other area of your life that we kind of glorify and love to relive, it's like you're going to set yourself up for failure. And like the example came up earlier, like you're going to overextend yourself and tear a muscle or something like that. And that's going to set you back even more. So like just be gentle with yourself, be loving with yourself. You can still challenge yourself without overdoing it. So that's Mars in reverse. Last card, or last few cards we have, is the Wanting Crescent. Surrender, restore, reflect, intuition, stillness. Surrender, restore, reflect, intuition, stillness. Love that. Being present, acknowledging your body, not overriding it, acknowledging your energy levels in your mind, not overriding it. Then we have Aquarius in reverse next to that. So it's like spiritual team is like you have something tied to your identity that's like I have to do it this way. So like I did this once too. So in high school I ran track, and then like long after I graduated, well, maybe not super long, like maybe 4 years after I graduated, I was like, yeah, I run the hurdles. That's what I do. I'm about to start working out again. Dude, when I was running track, I would do 400 lunges after track practice, and I just got inspired and thought I was going to do 400 lunges again and be okay. Like I did the lunges too, like I did them. And the next day, it was like, it was okay. I survived it, but it's just like, it was unnecessary. I didn't have to go that hard, that fast. So that's the energy here. Um, so something about that with the Aquarius in reverse is like, you're going to do it differently because you are differently, but it's not that much differently. Like, it doesn't take away who you are. It doesn't take away the value of who you are, your identity as a person. Allow yourself to evolve, allow yourself to have space, empathy for yourself, all that good stuff. So love that for you guys, like period. Talk to me in the comment sections and let me know how you're feeling. I want you to know that I have a second channel as well. It's called Sun flowers day. So sun underscore flowers underscore day, DAE, Day Royale. Again, in the comment section, you can check out the link if you'd like to learn more about my readings. My website will be there. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, you can do so there. And if you'd like to contribute to my reading, you can visit my Amazon wishlist store, and or you can PayPal me, Venmo me, Cash App me. But I do want to thank my angels, guides, ancestors, God, God source, and benevolent energies that stand in truth and love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the guidance. Thank you for the protection. Please continue to guide and protect us as we walk our path. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.